Oh my goodness, it's your controversial show, apparently. It's back. It's the GHB Spotlight here on JLJ Media, my number one show on my network. It's all because of Frank.
If we're relying on me, we are in trouble.
Yeah. I think we're in trouble and we're relying on you. So, folks, thank you so much for liking our shows, audio and video. I'm flabbergasted every week and love it every week. So thanks so much for making sure that we are the number one show for you guys. I know you have many choices in GH podcasts, but I'm glad you guys come back to us every time. So that's like that. A little shade in there. Welcome. So we're going to talk about General Hospital, what happened, and a little piece of Pine Valley was in there. But first, I'm Julie Chen Moonves. But first, that's starting soon too. I can't wait. The 25th anniversary thing's happening sometime too. I can't wait. Wyoming Spotlight, and we did a special bowl mini spotlight. You had to come back. It was so juicy. Both of them are out right now, audio and video. Check those out where you get your podcast. JLJ Media for those both. Me, Candace Mack, and Amanda Russ did both those shows. Tammy Dacovea is in New York, having the time of her life.
Oh, seeing some Broadway shows, perhaps?
Yes, she actually is seeing one. I forgot which one she's seeing, but was going to see one.
Oh, very nice.
I was like, so screw her. Right, she should have been here for the shows. Just kidding. The good for I love New York, so good for her. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Jason. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Eileen. Everybody, Susan, Beauty. We are here. There's your girl, Annie Goen. She's here too.
Annie. Don't die, James.
And I'm like, that's it, kids. But watch the shows. I don't care if I die. My channel will continue. I want the channel to continue. I don't care, folks. I don't care if I keel over alive. Make sure you get the like buttons and everything else. I want to go out on top. Right, Frank? That's right.
That's right.
Put it on the top. I don't care what happens to me right now. Also, I'm going to say, Addition Days is happening after this. Go check them out. Tony Moore, my chocolate twin of the gang. We'll be talking about Days of Our Lives. So, yes. And we have a couple things to address really quick because I've been getting so many questions from you guys. I'm going to take a lot of time on this. Just want to say to you guys, so the soaps will be on. You don't have to worry about that. The soaps aren't going nowhere anytime soon because the actors have a separate contract that expires next year, though. So they'll be on, but the writers are not the writers anymore. Now they call FICOR writers. They'll be writing the shows. So each show is different. I heard Young and the Restless, Josh Griffith is still following an outline of, I guess, where Bill Bell wants or whatever. I don't know what's happening to General Hospital. I have no idea who's doing that. But now it's different kind of writers writing General Hospital. So if things seem a little different, Frank, better or worse, who knows? That could be that. I don't know. I'm gonna make sure we get that going out there. So that's right, but they are fine. Now here's the next thing. We have a double strike going on, which means if any of your people are on other projects outside of soaps, they can't promote them. They can't work on them. They can't talk about them. So you're seeing some of my guests they're just bowing out, performing out. They're in press bands. I have a lot of shows. I won't have any guests for a while. So it is a major situation going on with SAG-AFTRA and the WGA both being on strike at the same time. They're out picketing. I see them. I talk to some people. And so I'll have a show coming out tomorrow where you'll see where I'm talking about the whole strike stuff. But I just want to touch some people who've been asking me and DMing me about this. So soaps are fine for now. Well, depending on how you look the soaps. They're still in the air for now. But the other stuff outside of that. Now, public appearances, I have no idea what's going to happen with that either. I know, if it's not a soap, they're pulling out. There's things they're dropping them. When it comes to soap stuff, I have no idea what's happening.
I know, like Vincent D'Onofrio was on the Twitters yesterday, day before, but talking about just for like Comic Cons or any comic pop culture related conventions, that there's a specific way that SAG would allow people to appear at those if they're the way that they're promoted was in a specific way. How they're introduced was in a specific way. So I think it's removing them from any attachment to any particular ongoing project and talking about them in the general But I could understand why actors that can make appearances in those realms would want those organizers to reach out to SAG and kind of, fine tune that. So that's a way for them to be able to do stuff, make some money while the strike is going on.
Yes, but folks, the main issue I want people to just understand is I've been reading some stuff that just disturbs me. Every person here, including Frank and I, everybody, we work. Well, some have you work for Marvel, but again, it's still job to job, so to speak. It's still contingent on if there's work for him at that company. For myself, I work for myself. So everything I get is gig to gig, check to check, job to job, project to project. And that's how 90% of the people in this business work as. We're not talking the A-list actors. We're talking everyone else. There's a pool of people, actors and writers and directors and producers who it's catch as catch can. And me and Frank was talking before just follow some actors online, some writers, or they will tell you, explain to you, but follow me. I've been posting stuff, reposting stuff that tells you what their checks look like, how it is for them. So just in case you didn't know, it's hard work. It is hard work just to get jobs and get anything. Background actors, all AI stuff. This whole thing is crazy. Technology is moving forward. We have to get contracts that reflect the changing times and living wage and healthcare. So they're not asking for much, Frank. They're not really asking for much.
No. I mean, as somebody who for 7 years was forced to do gig work. Oh
yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Right. I know you hated that.
It's zero fun. It's consistently stressful. You can't really even enjoy the project you're on because you're always wondering, this is going to end soon. I got to find something else to do. And yeah, so good. So, but even now that I'm here at Disney/Marvel, I mean, there are friends that have already been unfortunately laid off in these rounds of layoffs that Disney's done. So
that's crazy. So everybody think about it. Why did you think about? Just think about it. There's Luther, who is actually in the Writers Guild. He has been marching. So Luther's been out there, and who's in the chat. Just take a look around, see what's going on, and have some compassion. IATSE is raising heck here in Vegas. There you go. I have friends at IATSE who are sitting there waiting for jobs because they can't work because of the double strike. So their shows are on. So it affects restaurants. It affects clothing outlets. It affects stores. It affects all kinds of crew. It affects everybody. So just have some compassion, show some support, and hopefully this will go by not too much longer. I keep hoping we'll wake up and it'll be some kind of deal. But as you're seeing, there's a lot of greed in the world. So it may take a while, kids. And those of you guys whining about your shows on prime time, whatever, I don't tell you. I mean, I know you want what you want, but there's some things that are way more important.
I don't know. Certainly, given some of the articles that were out last week, talking about what executives' plans were and how they wanted to handle the strike.
Yes,
it does not seem that an agreement's going to be coming together very quickly.
No, I keep hoping. I always hope. I want unity, as Frank was saying. But...
UNITY.
I love that you do that. We want it. But we're not sure what's going to happen. And I'm with Frank. The things that we're hearing, it won't be tomorrow. But just have some compassion. And for the hosting people, I've seen some folks we don't need hosts for nothing. First of all, don't take money out my mouth. Do not take money out my mouth. I'm a host. I get paid to host events. Don't be we don't need anybody at the Emmys or whatever. Yes, you do. You need hosts at the Emmys. Sorry, kids. I take money out my mouth. Shit, hosting is a profession. So think about that for a second too. A lot of us can't do our jobs either. So keep that in mind also.
True. I mean, I think we've all seen plenty of stuff with bad hosts.
Yeah.
And how much more fun it is when you have somebody that's really good at it.
Yes. We see some really bad hosts. But that's not. But yeah, then when you have great hosts, then yes, we don't want to do it. The two sides aren't talking right now. I know they're not talking. They're just no talking right now. They're just if you haven't seen the nanny speech, Fran, it's a good one. She goes off. It's a good one. And also, Ron Perlman has a good thing too. He said the thing is going around too. That's really interesting.
I know that Fran was a little hot water prior to that.
Yes, she was. Well, she was partying in Italy. Hello, Fran.
Yeah, you got to part with those Kardashians, man. They're irresistible.
Yeah, I guess.
But I think she made up for it with that fiery speech.
She did. No, she did. She very much made up for it, actually. The Tonys were actually okay. So the Tonys, it was well done. I do miss having. Well, Ariana DeBose was kind of the host, kind of, and she did a good job, piecely. But that one, because it's more song and dance, they didn't need so much to have stuff. But the Emmys are the 50th anniversary of the daytime. They want to do montages and tributes. You need writers, and you need people who can do that stuff. There's that. And the primetime Emmy nominations came out this week too. They say they're going to happen, Frank. I'm not sure either. I don't know what's going on there. Star Wars shows got 17 nominations, or no more. They got 23 nominations. Star Wars shows got nominations. I don't know what's happened there either. They haven't said what's happening yet.
I know they're like, I can't remember which network it is. ABC is airing it.
It's Fox. It's at Fox.
Or Fox. But like thinking, like in November or possibly even January.
Right. So, folks, she was a party. She had side jobs also. Just the optics didn't look good. I mean, you know how optics are everything, folks. Optics are everything. So you gotta be careful. I'm glad everybody's on everybody's on my side. We're gonna talk about the soap now, but I just want to make sure I get that out a little bit because you guys have been asking me. I've been getting all these messages, so I've seen them. I haven't answered everybody back, but you guys, that's a little more. That's kind of what the general what's going on. So your soaps are okay.
Yeah, just quote everything that James said. Just quote that to your friends.
Yes. They say James sent you. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's going to take a while. Everybody in chat agrees. It's going to take a while. We're going to be in this for a minute. Hi, Jennifer Hansen. I'm glad you're here. Okay. All right. Here we go. I called it General Pine Valley Hospital or whatever this week. We had a little bit of Pine Valley. So I want to start with that just because it was an interesting thing. And because on General Hospital, we have so many actors who were on All My Children. So it brought up people going, oh my God. And, Anna has a history on there. And Marty was Tad Martin. So anyway, we had to see Jackson Montgomery, Walt Willie, who looks really good, didn't he?
He did. It's been a while since I've seen him, but yeah. I have that image in my head of, days gone by, what I picture the classic Jackson Montgomery, rocking that goat. Yeah. I guess based on just first impression, I'm underwhelmed, and that's not because of Walt Wiley. It's just because of what the show chose to do with it.
Right.
I guess I reserve judgment. If Lucy's going to have the dinner and they're going to show it, and he's going to have actually something of meat to do with this, it's like I rather would have seen a scene between him and Lucy than just like that, other than it happened behind closed doors. When you heard, I get to see him come out and order a drink order. That was it. That was it.
I know. The Lucy Felicia show is kind of cute. I give it to him. It's kind of cute, I guess. I'm not a huge Felicia fan, so I've never have been. I've always been a Lucy fan, but I've never been a Felicia fan. So I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Seeing Jackson, seeing Montgomery and all the different names on there. Like, okay, I was trying to think, what name is that? They had an assistant for him, so that was kind of cool. They hired somebody, got a job for the day, but he's not done. He's coming back this week apparently. So tomorrow and Tuesday he's back. So they said that was introduction. So I guess we'll have to wait, Frank, until this week to see if it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just said that. It's funny. Yes.
Yeah, I hope. As great as was seeing Nora Buchanan on GH, underused. It's like, and it's tough when you bring these beloved characters from other soaps on. You're like, oh my gosh, yes, it's great to see them. I guess you have to just realize in your head you're never going to get to see them used in the way that you remember, because it's not Pine Valley. It's not One Life to Live. It's General Hospital. And they're just a nice little trinket that you can use as a means to kind of move the story along. And just like, hey, remember this was a great show and a great character, but it's never going to kind of give you that satisfaction that you would want to see, like a Jackson Montgomery front burner storyline on Pine Valley back in the day.
Now, this is no shade. It's going to sound shady, but it's no shade, folks. Like, seriously, it's no shade this time. I got to give Walt Willie some credit, because homeboy been on Twitter and he has been doing the work. I'd love to be on the show full. Probably not going to hire me. It's been making me laugh because he is on there answering he is making the most. I should say it's not shade, I give him the most. He is making the most of this return. I had to chuckle because it's like, I ain't never seen him on Twitter talk to nobody, and now he is everywhere, Frank. Everywhere.
There you go, man. Do it.
Everywhere. That's what I said too. I said no shade. I'm like, when he laughed, was like, he's like, yes, you want me to come back on, talk to him. I'm like, that's right. That's how you tell him, Walt. That's how you tell him.
There you go. For you, I'm sure it was like a game recognized game moment.
You know me. Now you know exactly.
That's right.
I will stretch a moment to 15. That's what I said. No shade. Sounds shady, but it's no shade. I was just like, wow. I get to he is making the most of that moment.
That's right, man. You gotta make that a 7-course meal. You gotta tuck in that napkin in the collar, pull out the good cutlery, and just
that's right. I just think that's hilarious. I loved it. Hi, Shanika. But good for him. I say good for him. I know I saw the file cabinets. Oh my God, I was kind of chuckling, but a lot of places use file cabinets still. They do.
Yeah.
They do. File cabinets.
Chase Montgomery's an analog guy. Sure, you could have a server with all your important data on there, but you've got one assistant and the office is small.
Where's this external hard drive? Where her hard drive? They post like 2 terabytes. I'm like, what's going on? You don't have that. You don't have that in his office. It's like it's all in paper. But you might was talking about that right now. We use paper as a bag. I know. I just chuckled. I did chuckle, but people do have file cabinets. Mama, there's file. They have file cabinets. Yeah. Walt's the OG. That's right, Ethel. He's the OG. That's right. He might has a Rolodex too. Yeah. I don't know. But yes, it just kind of it was nice. I will say it. It's a great wink to everybody. It's a nice thing. But the cast is so bloated as it is. I don't think he'll be on more than a reoccurring here and there, possibly.
Yeah, it's like with Nora Buchanan. I mean, that
right
came out enough where you think like, oh, interesting, and then then eventually it just stopped. And
so the question everybody's talking about in the chat room and everything is who's the third wife? I don't think it's Susan Lucci. I don't think it's Erica Kane. Someone mentioned Brooke English, but I thought she was married to Adam. I don't know if there's a third wife. So I don't know. I think it's somebody lower level on All My Children that may be a recognizable person. I don't think it's anybody big.
Yeah, it would be tough seeing Erica Kane's former husbands.
Right.
That Marty would kind of fit in that category.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, not
as much as that Southern charm might be great. I don't know if he's pulling an Erica Kane.
No, they're all Paul. Who's Marty's wife? I don't even know who to choose because there's so many characters. It could be, must be somebody who's he doesn't like, who's kind of has to be unlikable. Which I think who was. I think somebody said Greenlee's mother. I forgot her name. Mary, I think her name was. Someone said.
It should be Dixie, right?
Everybody says Dixie. Everybody says Dixie. Or Liza. They say Liza.
Oh, nice.
Liza, that'd be a good one. I don't think it's Brooke. Brooke's not was never mean and nasty, so I don't think we Brooke. But
is big in the cosmetics area. I mean, I feel like that's why it seems like it's Erica Kane's like the more obvious choice because it's cosmetics and it's Pine Valley.
They robbed Crystal, Babe's mom. Oh yeah, Bobby Eakes. We like Bobby Eakes. Everybody's saying Dixie though. They're saying Dixie. But Liza's a good choice too. I wouldn't mind Liza. That'd be interesting. Very, very interesting. Or it could be Mary and Colby, my buddy Jennifer Bassey. I should ask her, have you been filming anything? That'd be kind of funny because she could play a Vic. She could be both back and forth.
Yeah.
That's somebody. I don't think Marty will be I don't think GH has the budget to cast any major actors. For a one-day role, they might be able to find somebody somewhere. They say that Frank Valentine's very good at the budget. You never know. For a one-day walk-on, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's you want it to be somebody that's at least worthwhile.
Yes, exactly.
And if it's just like, oh, this is, the Dimitri's maid from 25 years ago. Like, what? That's it? That's what we got? All right.
But Brooke would go for a tad look-alike. That could be true, I guess. it'd be weird having Katie McLean come to GH as Michael Knight's love interest, and she's married to John Lister. It would be weird. It'd be kind of fun. It'd be kind of fun. Nice little weeks. Then you get the whole thing. Do I know you? Do you look familiar? No.
I'd be Maria Santos.
Oh my God, Maria Santos. Love it. That's the way. I mean, I love all my children. So I mean, there's a lot of choice, I guess, but that's there. So I'm like, okay, well, so I guess we'll see how this goes. I mean, there's just a little piece of moment we got. We'll get more this week, obviously. We'll see what happens with that. I wanted to bring up what else? What's the other thing I wanted to bring up? There was that one. Oh, you got to bring up Curtis. That's a major thing. I got to bring up. We saw his mother.
Man, not
his brother, not Tommy.
No. I feel like that seems didn't land for me.
It didn't for you. I was wondering if it would or not. I was wondering because it did for me actually. I was surprised it did, but it did. It's a soap trope to go, meet somebody in heaven or whatever.
Yeah, it's one thing. I feel like those scenes definitely have a little bit more resonance if it's somebody that you've seen before and you're seeing again. Like this is the first time. I mean, we're seeing Curtis's mom, even though she's been talked about a lot.
Yeah,
but
sure.
We don't know her, so we don't seeing her. It's like, oh, you could feel like, oh, it's great. Curtis is getting to see his mom, but it's more like Willow seeing her mom on the operating table for a hot second. It's just, I guess felt a little bit more like, oh, okay, I've seen her before. I recognize her. It's tough with those scenes too, because it's always like, how much of it is real? How much of it is, real in the sense of soap real. And how much of it is just, where they're in surgery and they're going, because it's always, like, just stay with us. And to do that, and then there's the weird shift, like, oh wait, you have a daughter? I didn't know you had a daughter, but I'm also up in heaven, so I should know that because I can see everything. But you surprised me by telling me you had a daughter, so now you should go back. Don't be here with me and Tommy. So that seemed like that just didn't work for me at all.
Well, half the chat agrees with you. It's kind of funny. Everybody's kind of like, it's mixed. I was thinking about they gave her a wig. It was not Phyllis. It was not Phyllis. Somebody else. For me, it did resonate, and it's funny because I was kind of shocked they actually cast someone as his mother and actually gave her dialogue and actually gave her screen time. I was like, wow, we had never seen her before, never saw a picture of her or anything. I was like, wow, okay. And she looked like someone's mother. It just did to me. So Chandra, I was with you. He was like a little boy seeing his mother. If you've lost a parent you loved, you can relate. Well, I haven't lost a parent I loved, but I did relate to it. I was just like, I thought it was kind of cool. I think I was looking at a writer's standpoint, maybe not so much as a fan. I was kind of like, that's very cool. They actually took the time to cast his mother and to actually have this kind of talk and show Curtis doing something other than, I don't know, it was something more for him to do. It was like, we got a chance to see him act more. I think that's kind of the problem, is that these people can act. The cast is so big, we're not getting it. I think Curtis should be a leading man on the show. I think he should be one of the leading men on the show. And I think they're kind of doing that a little bit. Kind of not. I'm not sure. But I just thought it's a silly trope they do all the time. And usually it's with somebody we know already. Like what Frank said, usually it's somebody we know already. I thought it was cool. I thought he did a great job. I was fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is no shit against Donnell Turner. I mean, he's always, and we know we enjoy ourselves some Donnell.
Yeah, Donnell Turner, of course, I don't say towards him.
But I feel like there's such, like, I wish you would have drilled down a little deeper, because if you're going to make this to be where it's like, this is not just a hallucination that Curtis is having at the operating table, but we're going to use a soap convention that it's like you're getting a chance to meet the actual person. Great, unless it's Tad Martin. And then we rewrite it like, no, he was really alive. He wasn't really up in heaven talking to people. Or it's like, or Jesse talking to Tad Martin. Like, oh, no, Jesse's still alive. I don't know who you were seeing, Tad Martin, but it wasn't Jesse.
Over that, that's so bad, so funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, given Curtis's history, with what happened with his father and his disappearing and his mom knowing about it but letting him go. I feel like, as great as it was to see your mom, having also the opportunity to ask these questions, like, holy cow, I did not know all this stuff that was happening in my life. Like, and it doesn't have to be an accusatory conversation, but can it be like, talk to me more about all this now that I know what the whole picture is? Like, tell me what was going on with you back in that time, so I have just a better understanding. I would have enjoyed more of that, to see her come alive as more of a character in the choices that she made back then that really impacted Curtis's life, and to have him coming out of that conversation with a renewed, sense of peace or something about everything. I would have liked that more than what we got in the scene.
Frank, I will agree with you on that. I think, people in the chat room kind of agree, saying, let's give him more to do. Let's give him a real story. I agree with you. You're right, they could have gone deeper with that. You're absolutely right. They could have, and they didn't. And because you're right, because of everything, I mean, he could have said, so you knew about dad, or did you know about dad? Like, there's all this stuff he could have asked. They didn't go in. You're right, they didn't go into it. They didn't. You're right. See, Frank got me think about something I didn't think about before. That's something that's interesting. They could have gone in there way more. I think Tommy, not showing Tommy, was actually fine with me. It was kind of like, okay, he's always off. He's always been mentioned too. He's always off to the side. So I felt that. But folks, and you guys are talking about this in the chat room, and I'm gonna be a disruptor once again. I'm sure it's gonna get lots of attention. We're gonna do it again. We all know why Donnell Turner's not treated like a leading man. And I'm gonna say it, because he's Black. That's why he's not treated as a leading man. He is treated there's like, they kind of lean that way sometimes, but then they don't lean that way sometimes. And like somebody else is saying, he still feels like a supporting character. He's been on the show for we've been doing this show for 8 years. He's been on the show the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, hasn't he had they built a family around him? When Frank brought up last time with the trigger, they built a family around him. It's like, why isn't he larger than, in terms of the show, than he should be? It's because he's Black.
And it's crazy because, I mean, they gave him his own business, his own establishment. Yep. They tease in the WSB stuff, which is usually like, hey, that's a great legacy thing that you want to attach to a character. Awesome.
Yes.
But it never gets full ignition. It's like we just get all these great little teases and stuff, but nothing really lifts off.
That's off. That's what Frank said. I agree with everything Frank's saying. So I think that's the problem. And yes, we know it's a large cast, blah blah, but they keep leading us through these directions. Like, again, I keep saying Greenland. Greenland is just like, it's just, that was like a big turning point for a lot of stuff. And they keep pairing him with Laura, which is like legacy character. They should have a friendship. It's like, it's like Frank is right. They keep giving him something, then kind of like slow it down. Give him something, then nothing. He should be having a full-on triangle with Portia and Jordan. That's what they would do for anybody else. And it's like they teased it and they stopped it. They teased it and they stopped it. And it's like, you're right. Like, what's that about? He's been on the show for a long time. We know that Sonny is number one on the call sheet. We know that. I have no problem with that. That's fine. But other leading men on the show, I'm like, who are you? That was asking in chat. Who are the leading men on the show? When we think about it, we're considered the leading men.
I mean, the only other one that really like straight comes to mind would have been Steve Burton when he was on.
That's right. And he's gone. I guess Dante, is he a leading man? Not really.
I don't think so. I feel like he's support for sure.
Ned supportive, clearly.
Yeah, Drew supportive. I mean, I feel like that's another squandered.
Oh, we know about that.
Yeah,
we know about that. That's yes, horrible. Who else? I mean, that's a really good question, you guys. We're going to think of one person who's considered like a lead.
Yeah.
Of the males. Everybody's like Dante. I mean, kind of, but kind of not. It's like it's like, I don't think you're right. I don't think he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would have been like back when he first came on, and he had more story, and it was, I feel like you're like, hey, but even then, I don't know if he would have been a lead. I think he still would have been a supporting.
Because Luke's gone.
Yes.
He was the lead. Jason's gone. He was a lead, clearly.
Yeah.
Um, is Valentine a lead?
I would love for him to be a lead, but I don't think he quite crosses the threshold as well. And I feel like he's in the same boat as Curtis, where it's just like he easily could if the show wanted him to be.
He could. I agree with you. Also, I was thinking about the Scorpio brothers. I guess they're really supporting both of them.
Sure. Yeah, which is a bummer. Yeah. You know?
Right. They're the Scorpio brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had lead story. They're saying, okay, they're mentioning, oh, well, Nicholas Tyler Christopher was a lead. Yeah, back in the day, yeah, when Nicholas was there, was a lead. But he's gone too. There's no Nicholas. He's gone.
Yeah.
They're saying TJ could make a great lead. Yes, if they work towards him, they could, but they don't do it with him either. He's still supporting.
Yeah, I mean, there's just really not much going on, like hospital infrastructure wise, to like generate like interesting stories.
Finn, is he a lead? No.
No.
He could be. Austin's not a lead.
Oh no, he's not.
Your buddy Austin.
His cousin is though. His cousin's a lead.
Hey cousin. Hey cousin. Because he says, hey cousin. I'm like, oh, he's like, this is creeped out. The way he says cousin just kills me. Because Cody's not a lead.
No. Dex isn't a lead.
Dex isn't a lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, because what is establishing a lead for you? I feel like it is somebody that that is a story generator, that that the focus on storylines, like it seems like it gets tied into multiple storylines, deep connections to the people and the city of wherever it's whatever show is established.
Right. Okay. Somebody mentioned about the John J. York and Tristan Long. They were leads, yeah, but Luke Spencer was a lead all the way up till he left. He was old. He was old ass. He was a lead. He was a lead till he left. He was involved in so many storylines. He was involved in everything. He was a lead till he left. I said Peter August. Now, Sasha, you want me to go through this? You come to this TV. They come get you. You want me to come get you? See, Spencer's too young. He's not there yet. And neither they're saying Chad Duell as Michael. I think they're trying to make him a lead, but he has no story for himself either. Really, not really.
No. He's that character, but the character of Michael just doesn't resonate enough for me to consider him a lead character.
Because Willow's not a lead either. She may be on every day, but she ain't a lead either.
Yeah.
Thank you, George. I mean, the women, it's a different story, but the men, that's a really good question. Is it just Maurice Bernard and everybody else is underneath her? I guess.
Yeah. I would agree. It's like
Chase could be a lead if he was. He's another one being held back.
Yeah. I mean, easily you could bump up Chase, Valentine, Curtis.
Yeah.
You could bump them all up if you wanted. If the show really wanted to invest in those characters and make them more.
Yes, I agree. Wow, funny. I'm learning some new shit just during my own show. I'm like, wow, I didn't think about it. If Frank opened my eyes up to a few things, you guys know what. I'm like, okay, I can learn. I can learn stuff too. I'm not just a disruptor. I do learn things also. So yes. Anyway, so that's interesting. So it leads there. So okay, so Donnell, Curtis. I like having the whole family together. That's we kind of be around each other. But I have some annoyances that I want to. I have some annoyances. Yes, indeedy, I do. No, Nina being there makes sense. Her and Curtis have been friends for those characters have been friends since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So her being there actually, because they were like, why is she there? I'm like, no, she actually was friends with. She's always been friends with Curtis.
Yeah, they had a fashion shoot with him. He was going to be a model at one point.
Remember that. It worked. But it's literally, it was very much. She's been friends with him for a long time, so that totally makes sense. She was there to me. I saw nothing wrong. Actually, I saw nothing wrong with her being there. And she's close to the family, and they all were like, they were glad she was there. So it's like don't say deceptor to me. Don't ever say that word ever again. I hate that word. Deceptor. Oh, if they said it, like, oh. But it made sense. And having Stella and poor Tabiana, I'll give it to her. She did her job. She must have had a cold or something, Frank, because that voice was hoarse.
Yeah.
It was hoarse. It was painful to listen to. Like, poor girl, get some lozenges. I was like, poor thing. But she worked through her job. She had to work through it, I guess. So she did it.
Yeah, I remember there was a time before she had the same kind of similar thing. She gets that raspy voice kind of going.
Raspy voice. But she did her job though. She's like, I'm gonna be here, do her job.
Yeah, but I also felt like the scene of Trina getting overwhelmed inside Curtis's hospital room was like, okay.
That was a little too much.
That was. It was a little over the top there.
That too. That and she called him dad. A little too soon.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks, a little too soon. Her dad is Taggart. This is Curtis. It was a little too soon, a little too much. And Portia still shooting daggers at Spencer the first day he was there. I was like, let him be there for his girl.
Yeah.
She was like, why are you just really? He offered for help, and she was like, we don't need your kind of basic. I'm like, okay, girl. I'm like, you're just trying to help actually for a change or for something good. And it's like you're trying to do something. It's like, you're right, Dr. Robinson. I'm like, dang, Dr. Robinson. I can't root for Portia. Portia bugs the shit out of me, so I can't root for her. I want to, I can't root for her.
I really don't root for Portia. The way that she's been written, it's just, ugh.
Right.
And of course, we got the scenes where I was already like dreading, Portia at Curtis's bedside, like, I let my pride get in the way.
They wrote Portia so badly that I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. And but the rest of the little family was fine. But then you got new Molly, who is not doing it for me at all. Sorry, kids.
No, she's
this
not.
Whole hatred towards Christina thing. That's weird. That's kind of weird. Like, she's going first, Molly's going off on Christina, and they're always close. She's actually doing something nice. And then you got TJ giving her attitude. Like, why? Like, you hate Christina all of a sudden? You've never mentioned that before ever in our lives. Like, why? I'm like, what?
That conversation of just Molly and TJ off the side where they're talking about Christina, and it's like it becomes a Christina show, and don't worry, this would be our show if it was our, like, that was a whole, it was like talking smack about this woman that I've never heard you guys talk smack about before.
Ever. That was crazy. And I get you. So, folks, you guys talk shit about me being friends with Eden McCoy. She's my buddy. But her seeing Josh going off on Esme, I thought was very warranted. Because Esme, they're showing us stuff, you guys. Esme's face was like, I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. And I'm like, and Josh like, I'm on to you, bitch. I am on to you, because she was touching his arm and stuff. He's like, are you guys staying after class? I started laughing. I'm staying after class. Like, okay. But I'm just like, wow. I'm just like, that is crazy. I love that she went off on her. And Dex was standing like, everything okay? Like, she's like, it's okay now. Yeah. But Esme is just and going over there. I would tell you, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Esme, nobody cares. Nobody likes you. I don't care who you. And she's standing. She stopped and she looked back. And I was like, look, there's something going on there.
It was so weird that she leaves the room with Jocelyn's like, I've got to go pick up my baby. But then makes time to stop by Trina and Spencer. Like, you're going to be in my prayers tonight.
Oh.
I'm like,
I thought she was going to slap the shit out of her. I thought she was going to go like that, but she didn't.
Yeah. The fact that she took the time to come in and just kind of needle.
Yeah, needle. I was like, saying needle.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
I think Esme's back. Or some part of her's back, or like we said, there's a part of her in there that's coming out. If she don't remember, there's some part of it. She is trying. She is doing stuff. But the Christina stuff, I'll go back to that for a minute, because let's talk about it. I thought her family was too hard. Her family was too hard on Christina, actually, on this case. She brought it up. It's a thought. Why is everybody just jumping on her? I'm like, well, I don't understand that part at all. I'm sorry, I don't understand that. And also, Alexis calling Sonny to discuss it. I'm like, he's a grown fuck. What are you doing? I just didn't. To me, that was too much.
But it was also a weird conversation to have with the father of her daughter and not give him really any information at all.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, it's like, it's not my story. Again, not my story to tell. Like, stop it. If you're reaching out because you're genuinely concerned, then give, and you want something to happen, then give the man the information so that he can, have something to act on. When you start just talking in like vagaries, like, I'm really concerned. I need to talk to you about your daughter. Just in the general, though, I can't tell you any specifics, but just reach out to her and just talk to her about stuff. Like, what are you expecting? How effective can you think this conversation will be?
Right. Because if my baby mama says so, I'll be like, no, tell you, got to know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, give me details. You don't
Yes. No, I don't want to hear something. But Amelia's correct. They don't have nothing for Nancy to do. I talk about a leading woman.
Yeah.
Giving nothing. I mean, she's getting crumbs these days. Crumbs. She is the also ran of her daughters. She was just there. But he all did most of the talking. And just a little like, I don't want to mess up things with my daughter because we're finally getting along. Like, that's what we're giving Emmy winner Nancy Legrand. That's what we're giving her. That's the material we're giving her. Oh, okay.
No, it's been rough. I mean, seeing a triangle between her, Tracy, and Gregory would
I'd love
be
that.
vastly more entertaining, if worthwhile of watching her than what we're getting currently.
I mean, it's just I don't know, it's just crumbs. I just think it's a travesty of justice that homegirl isn't getting much more. I mean, like seriously, it's like she's fucking Nancy Legrand. Come on, like she deserves 1,000% better than what she's getting right now. Than what they're giving her. It's just, and okay. So the one thing I am happy about. I don't care if TJ and Molly have babies or whatever. I don't give a shit about them people. I'm not invested in them. I don't care what's going on. I wish I did. I just don't, Frank. I just don't at all.
No, I also don't care about Christina being a surrogate.
Yeah.
I just like all the stuff I just don't care about.
She asked Maxie. I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Everybody knows Maxie's past with that. And Maxie's like, let me think about it. Bye. I was like, okay.
And I did
like
why are you asking her like that? What is going on? It was the most terrible way to be asking. I was just getting information.
Oh my God. It's yeah, I don't know if she's sticking around. That's the next one. I don't know if Janelle is sticking around, but she's sticking around for a while. So, we're taking it.
I'll be happy as long as we get her.
Same here. That's the one thing we agree on. And I will bring up the fact that I am so happy, Frank. I thought of you. I thought this, I was shocked it happened. It came out. And Chase didn't run away. He started to.
Yep.
They gave it a big kiss and smiled and walked off. I thought, good. Because you and I kept saying it for weeks. Just tell him. He'll understand. I just tell him what's going on. Because he wasn't dummy. They're like, you don't want to do this job. Like, there's something wrong. And then Tracy's sitting there, what are you talking about? What's going on there? And it's just kind of funny. And it all came out. I love that it all came out. He was pissed, of course. But she's like, I just got to go back from break. I didn't really deal. Like, it was like I started laughing. But I'm glad that he didn't run from Brooklyn. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, so it's what it does best. It gives you the, a micro progression in the storyline by like finally taking something that's so obvious. Like, why don't we address this? But then Tracy coming back later to like, but Chase doesn't know that you also committed corporate espionage. How do you feel about that? Which I'm like, this is the time to tell Chase everything. In this moment. So let Tracy take the fall for all of this. Say it.
I'm glad it started to come. I'm glad that the blackmail came out, at least. It was like, because we can't keep Chase and Brooklyn apart. We just can't at this point.
But it's also now, is it going to be because Tracy's like, well, you can't because, Chase doesn't know about the corporate espionage, that sweet flash drive. So what's going to happen now when Brooklyn is still working at Deception? And Chase is like, wait, I thought you told me everything.
Flash drive.
Yeah. It is Brooklyn. I hope would come through and say the rest, but I don't know.
I don't either. But I take my little baby steps. I'm just
Yes.
glad that came out. We've been saying it for weeks. I'm just glad it just came out. It was like that he didn't run and do a whole. He started first. I was like, oh, he's doing it. They came back. I was like, I got to exhale for a minute. I'm like, I thought it was great.
Well, because especially when he left, I mean, it came like it was like, hey, little girl, I'll talk to you later about this.
Yes.
Like, I'm glad he checked himself and was like, all right.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me give you this smooch to let you know everything is all right.
Now, this storyline has potential, but my faith is not there. There's another storyline that I don't even want to talk about, but I know we have to mention because it happened. So I'm trying to decide which one do I go through first. I'm like, we'll go to the one that I want to talk about, folks.
Oh man, see, pulling the Band-Aid off. I love it. There you go.
There's actually two storylines that I want to talk about, but this one, okay, let's talk about this one first. Willow is now home. And we had to give her a Parisian surprise.
Oh, that was...
folks, for a second. Bye, everybody. See you guys later. I took a nap.
But even when Wiley was wearing a mustache, how about when Michael put on a beret but then bailed on the French accent? No. What about the part before all that where Willow got to talk about being sad that she couldn't make love to Michael? But I want to be intimate with you, Michael, and I can't be. And you've waited so long, so patiently, and I want this. I'm like, oh. I was just like, why am I listening to this scene? Why am I watching this?
Frank, everything you just brought up makes me want to run into traffic. Cars, just hit me. Please hit me. I want to feel every piece of pain. If I could care less, I don't know if I can care less, but if I could, Frank, it would do everything in my power to care less. Like, I watched it. I tried. I'm like, because I had no problem with Chad Duell as an actor. I have no problem with him or Homegirl. I have no problem with either of them. But these storylines, just even when Sasha came by, I was like, whoa. I mean, even that didn't help any. I'm just like, it is just. So folks in the chat. I mean, are there Willow and Michael fans? I just don't know any.
Yeah, it's also, there are characters. I don't know. It's also,
I don't know. I'm just saying, there, folks. Do you like? I mean, anybody's having Willow? What's her name? That's right.
That seemed like a conversation to me that I would have seen like maybe in the 80s or 90s on GH, where it's like two people that the show's invested in a lot of time in and you care about, and they're going to have this really kind of intimate kind of touching on the sexiness of their relationship kind of talk, but like said in a way that just like, do people even talk like that these days? No, I don't know. But so like watching them talk about like, oh, I just want to be intimate, and it's like, ugh, really great. This is a turnoff. This is not getting me like invested in you guys as a couple. Whoa.
Daisy Flower. Oh, Daisy Flower. I'm so sorry. She likes it. She doesn't mind Willow and Michael.
What?
Doesn't mind.
Well, is that the best we can do in this chat? I
think so. Eddie Goins says she's seen one Willow fan online on Twitter. Everyone else is like, no.
I don't mind them.
I don't mind them. You go on Daisy Flower. I don't mind them. I mind them. I do. I mind them. I'm just like, I mean, they're writing story for them. I mean, they're writing stuff. They're giving them story. They're doing their best. I'm just like, I don't think anybody cares.
No.
I'm down to be changed. I'm down if they could write a really good story for them. Oh, I can get turned around. Oh, I can totally get turned around. Oh, easily. If you write me a good story with them, that's engaging and exciting and fun. But this stuff, I mean, frankly, seriously, I want to run into traffic and oncoming traffic and just like get hit by every car that goes by.
It's
That's
too
more
saccharine,
exciting.
it's too cloying. It's just it's just it's too much because there have been plenty of other medical storylines where a beloved character is, come close to the grave due to whatever particular medical issue that they're having, or even more tragic ones where you've got Mike for the longest time, and you see his eventual decline, but you're able to still create these true, real kind of emotional moments and connections between characters that resonate with you. And you're like, this is great. I love watching this. And then you see a scene like these with Michael and Willow, and there was nothing about that conversation that resonated to me or felt just like genuine, like within that moment. It just felt it was just written in such a way that it just didn't land for me at all.
Oh yeah, folks, I was all for Willow and TJ. I got excited about that. I said, you can give me a story, I could possibly get into it, but this story just doesn't. It just literally, I feel I am dead, completely dead inside. I feel nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the part of Michael's storyline that I'm more interested in is him being involved with Dex and like helping Sonny out without Sonny knowing it. The estrangement has gone on for so long. I was tired of it. Like much like with the death of AJ and what all the fallout for that. After a point, it just became like, ugh, we got to do something different because it's just getting repetitive.
I agree.
So I much like this. So if they can make something interesting out of this, at least it seems like a new spin on it. I'm more interested to see Michael in that storyline. Michael with Willow, I don't need to see any more of it.
Yeah. It's giving nothing, yes. And then we gotta move over a notch. I'm gonna have to agree with Frank.
Oh, it was a big day.
This Sasha storyline, there are folks who are super pissed because of the drug thing, because you look at that. So Gladys is, to me, now crossed the line from being, mildly annoying and opportunistic to now her and this croissant, whatever his name is, Montague, whatever his name is, have now got her hooked on drugs. And they're trying to show her, like, I do care about her, but she's doing this because she has looking trouble with Selena Wu. I'm just like, hyper sense. You're like, and I don't know. And I say, I feel like everybody say in the chat room, Sasha just can't get a break.
Yeah,
Sasha can't. We need to have a give her. I mean, come on, she has been through so much. It's almost like take some of these storylines, give them to somebody else. It's kind of like it's just that's what it is, Frank. Some of these folks sit around here just talk to yous, and there's other people over here is push storylines. Like, is there so much on her? It's like it's a little too much.
Yeah, I know that she's be taking time off for maternity leave.
Yes,
I rather would have write her out where she's, as much as you hate it, James, the Deceptor, but she's going on a promotional tour, and she's going to be gone for X amount of time touring the world promoting the Deceptor. Would have been great. It's fine. She's great. She left on a happy note. Things are going well. But this choice is just rough. And I mean, I feel like this show has already shown you like it's not a great thing because Sasha's not telling anybody that she's taking medication. All she told Maxie was that meditation. They deliberately had that conversation lead up to the point like, oh, I'm doing something new. Where it made me think like, oh, I'm going to say medication. Nope, it's meditation. So nobody knows about this. And then we hear the doctor say it's this medication's interaction with her, her current medication that's going to cause all this stuff. So nobody will ever know. Well, it's just this gaslighting of that of Sasha and just is no fun.
I like Sasha, and so now we got adjacent to that, Cody. Now I have to say this: I enjoyed Selena slapping the shit out of him. That felt good. He was getting too smart mouth for it. She was like, "This is not a joke." That was like so. But again, here we go. I'm about to disrupt the internet again.
Oh yeah, disrupt it again. But I also will say, James, like that seems so weird to me because he already got his butt whipped by
Right.
Selena's henchmen earlier.
Right.
How did he think that being a smart mouth to her was going to end up at anything other than an ass
Right.
whip?
Right. So, but here's my problem, Frank. We got Selena a couple of days this week. Who knows when we'll see her again? Like, we'll see. Will she be on this week? Will she not be on this week? It's like, can you guys, again, another fan favorite, can you commit to having her on a little more? I want to see what's going on with her too. But now, I thought of you, Frank, also. Sam is on the case. And so is your man, Mac.
This one is crazy to me because in a way it diminishes Selena Wu as well. Because
Right.
if the PCPD and Mac are like, we know something shady's going on with these poker games that she's doing. It's like so it's just a matter. And the only reason that they haven't busted in yet is because of Cody and his involvement. They're trying to get him out of it somehow. One would have loved to have had more screen time with Mac actually saying that earlier. But glad we didn't have that. But two, it's like, how great is Selena Wu then? She's supposed to be this great mastermind, but she's just moments away from being busted. I feel like, Sonny Corinthos, he's got his stuff locked down tight.
Everything Frank said, I agree with. I have nothing to add. I literally have nothing to add. That's what's so sad. It's like everything you said was exactly, and it's just kind of, it's just like it's. So they're trying to establish this whole Cody and Mac have a connection,
Right?
Which we know why his connection. He's still kind of feeling it. Mac's kind of feeling it, but Cody knows that's his daddy. It's just like it's an old soap trope again being used. It just seems like, oh, and I don't mind Sam either so much. I mean, I don't mind her so much, but it's just kind of like I never seen Sam and actually Mac talk to each other, so it's kind of like now they're really talking. Like that was interesting a little bit, but it was just like I don't know.
What I realized out of that scene though is what I've become tired of, and just talking about it right now has made it really kind of crystallize in my mind. Is that I'm really tired of scenes now where a character will bump into somebody else, and during that conversation they're going to be talking about a third party or shared interest in something, and one person will say like, oh, I have something, but I don't want to say anything yet. Like, what? Just, I'm tired of those scenes. There are too many of those. Like, it's much more interesting. Give me a scene where Sam tells Mac all about what she suspects. We'll see what Mac does on that. Does he keep quiet? Does he end up messing things up? Does he do something? But it's just, I feel like it's just a way for the show to kind of tease, like, ooh, hey, maybe, they're going to find out a little bit more information about stuff. Nope. Because everybody's just going to say, oh, I'm not ready to say yet. Not ready to say yet. So great. So then, why do we even have this scene? What was the point of this? If we gain no new information and we can't take anything in any new direction, instead we're just like, oh, I can't say yet. And GH does this way too much.
They do. Again, that's what I have to say about that. I just, other comments. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and we have still, the whole necklace thing, and now Selena Wu's involved with the necklace, and it's going to get 60% of the 10 million or whatever. Like,
and Scotty's part of this, but we only saw him once last week. Like, I
don't know. Okay, like this necklace thing is just becoming like a literal albatross around anybody's neck.
Yes, and Nina, she told Gladys what she's not going to do. So she was like, "Oh wait, I'm very capable of walking myself out. So I know you want to talk to me." I was like, "That's my girl." And she was like, "Oh, you want to tell?" It was like, "Oh no, bitch, you ain't gonna tell. Logan's got it all settled. Everything's good. Why are you gonna tell?" She got a little gangster in there. She was like, "No, bitch, you're not telling nobody nothing." And Glass is like, "That's right, but I'm gonna tell. I think she's gonna tell."
Of course, she's gonna tell because she's she's out there, because Cody threw the game for her. She's all like, oh, well, I'm on a great winning streak now. I can buy a fancy coat, a belt. It's great. And so when the next game, when she crashes and burns.
Of course. Well, she will.
Yeah. She's definitely gonna like. I gotta throw Sasha under the bus. It's just like, all right.
It's just I'm just like, oh,
Yeah. And the fact that they're just like, I don't know. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but for somebody who's done the work, who's gone through the steps, and it's not like she's fallen off the wagon by
no,
her own choice, by her
no,
own actions.
no.
It might be might like then I'm hiding stuff from people. Like this is like she's working on something good, supposedly, of like ending this guardianship. So she should be forthright and honest with everybody. Like, yep, the psychiatrist, prescribed this medication, so I'm taking this, but he says it's fine. It's great because I can understand people being like, "Wait, Sasha, isn't this kind of weird that you're doing this?" Like, no, he said it's fine because I think that's what you would say. It's something that's going in a positive direction. Uh, but of course they can't say that because they have to make it look like Sasha's falling and stumbling and
Yeah,
slipping back down, and it's all her fault. That's why she needs to be committed or sent away to some program. Ugh, it's
I
just going to
know.
be a train, and it's frustrating because you see it and you just like, I don't know how long it is before she leaves on her maternity leave, but it can't happen soon enough because I just need this to be over
Right.
because like where it's going, and it's just like, oh, I have to watch and wait for it to get there.
Yes, you do.
Ugh.
But yeah. And yeah, so I guess we'll see how that goes.
And you still have
Um,
to tell me what the doctor is getting out of all of this.
I have no clue.
I have no idea. And it was his idea. So I don't know what he's getting out of
Oh,
it.
and it goes to the same thing. I want to know what Sasha's doctor's got. He just wrote that. I have no kids. I have no idea. None.
Yeah. So, okay, great.
Um, Also, this is a storyline that could possibly be good
Ooh,
if they do it correctly, Frank.
ooh.
My faith isn't there yet. Anna and Sonny. I love them together. I love them as kind of friends.
Mhm.
I love that. Nothing more, but I love that. I love that both their pasts are probably catching up with them. And when they said the shots, it could possibly be Anna's past. So I'm really curious what they did because they said, how many folks were against you? She's like, well, it's a lot. I mean, I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder what they're going to do with the storyline.
Yeah, I mean, because it's always I'm with you there as well. And I feel like the tough part is uh the gulf between what Sonny does and what Anna does, where even though Anna's got some tragic double agent stuff in her past, but she's all about law and order, and especially because of her double agent time. Got
Right.
to do the right thing. Always got to do the right thing. And Sonny is one of those things like, yeah, I want to do the right thing for the people I care about, but also I want to have this empire that I've created and run as well.
Right.
So and the way that I do that is not above board. It requires illegal activities, some of which we don't really know. It's just I'm a coffee importer, and we'll leave it at that,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be the tension between like, it's like how much are they going to be able to let the other person in this situation?
Yeah. I was curious. I mean, if they do this correctly, it's going to be a very interesting story for Anna if they do it correctly. I don't think it's I think it's Anna. It could be somebody for both. If it was somebody for both of them, that'd be very interesting. Where they both have to kind of help support each other through this.
What I also like too is like the addition of Dante.
Yes. Yes.
That's great to see Dante in the mix with that as well too. I thought that scene between the three of them at Anna's place was
Oh yeah.
great.
Yeah, I agree.
And that like Sonny, Dante poking fun at Sonny about it and stuff. All great. And Dante's got to pass with the WSB. He's got to pass with Anna. If it gives him some more stuff to do, great. I'm all for it.
I agree. That I agree with also. I agree with. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot this part. I did chuckle a little bit. Gladys being mean to Scout, the dressing room. I kind of did I did kind of laugh about that a little bit. Like, the way you touch it, wait, this is expensive. I was laughing. So yeah. If we could say anything in cast line, oh whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Have we missed the storyline at this point? Did we get all of them?
No, we're gonna get more Eddie May next week, or this week, I should say.
Yeah, I like some Nettie. I'm ready for some Nettie. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I need it. I want it. I want it to happen. Um, I need some excitement. I don't. I mean, is Curtis may paralyzed? Possibly. I feel he's going to be. I feel it has to be. It can't. If he comes unscathed through this, that's dumb. Has to be something. Has to be something. It's gonna has to at least be paralyzed. That's my prediction, folks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like, well, we have to wait for the swelling to go down. It's gonna be like a Sonny thing with Epiphany for a while. So who's going to be the caregiver for Curtis? Who's going to be that tough love? Is it going to be Elizabeth? It's going to be that tough love nurse that's going to get Curtis back on his feet. Oh, well, we didn't even talk about that. The whole Liz and Finn making another stab at it.
I was trying to ignore that, but I guess we have to mention it.
We have to mention it.
Go ahead, Frank. Mention it.
I don't understand this at all. I don't. Folks, I can't think of anybody that really enjoyed Liz and Finn together. And so clearly, the storylines that they had before were terrible. The show at least seemed, whether they realized it themselves or they listened to the fans who were not interested in it, finally extricated them.
Yes.
And I just don't understand why right now they're trying to put them back together. Right now, give me a year off from them. Have them do other stuff. Have them be involved with other people. And then if you want to bring them back, they can still be friends during that whole time. But if you want to bring them back after a year or so, and then start laying the groundwork. But to just break them up, a couple months of them just kind of being like distracted, and then now we're going to bring them right back together. Like, why?
I like to run into traffic. Head-on collisions. I want to be flown in the air, legs broken, no anesthesia or anything. Just operate on me. I have no. There's nothing I can add to that conversation.
But Elizabeth was great, right there on that MetroCorp pool, taking care of Curtis. They were a team. They made it happen. Okay.
I literally have nothing to add. I mean, I just think it's so. They're trying so hard to get us to fall for them. Again, it's not working.
It's not. It's like one of those where we need to rest it. We need to see them with other people, and then maybe you can get people to think like, you know what? It wasn't so bad when they were together. I wouldn't mind seeing them together. And then if the show wants to bring them back together, then it could be like, oh yeah, all right, yeah. And they're doing it in a better way than they did the first time. Great. But now it's too soon. It's too soon.
Gun to the head, James. Okay, Liz and Finn, or Michael and Willow. I would take the bullet to the head, please. Thank you.
For me, I would take Liz and Finn still.
I would take a bullet. Just go ahead and shoot me and put me on my misery, and I'm fine. Yeah. I'm good. I don't. Either couple makes me want to just like not really be happy.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. And now Violet's gonna say, "Oh, now you have to get married."
Oh, speaking of Violet, she's on this week's State of Mind. Sophia Love is on there. I don't know why he's having her on the show. Okay, if you like her, watch the show. I don't watch her.
How dare you, James?
I don't like Violet, so I'm like, I just Violet wasn't on the show. I've had enough of her.
But you're going to be on there soon.
On State of Mind, yes. Not General Hospital. I'd love to. Yes, on State of Mind, I will be on there. So stay tuned for that. I actually talked to Mo yesterday about some stuff.
Oh, look at that!
Yes, talked yesterday. But no, I'm like, yeah. There's some couplings on this show that just mean nothing to me. I just don't. I don't fast forward, but I kind of just like either I roll over, take a nap when they're on, or I just kind of the eyes glaze over as they're on. I don't know. I don't know what happens. So if I say Liz and Finn over there, I just can't say either one. Either one does nothing for me. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one of the scenes we did get Martin walking, following Anna into the hotel room, getting smashed in the face with a door. Great camera work on all of that. Just
Yeah.
make us feel what it was like to be in Martin Gray's shoes for a moment.
Yes, I know. Yes, me and Maurice, I call Mo, are working on me being on State of Mind. Yes, he contacted me, and we've been trying. He's had a lot of people ahead of me, so he's getting around to me soon. So stay tuned. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh shit, that scared me.
Will you be wearing your GH Mini Spotlight shirt?
I thought about that. I was like, I was gonna wear the State of Mind shirt. I should wear my own shirt. I should wear that shirt, from us. So yes, I might wear my own. So we'll see. I gotta think about that. I think that's it for your also. I mean, literally, I think we talked about all the storylines. And I just the show right now is a C+ for me. There are a couple of things I'm enjoying, and a lot of things I'm not. So come on, Jay, we can do this. We can do this. Open arms, like Tony says. I'm ready for. I want better storyline. I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean the ingredients are there to make something
They are
great with a lot of different characters.
Yes.
It just they gotta tweak the recipe that they're currently using.
And not that one recipe that we all know Maxie has. And she has not left that house yet, that apartment yet.
No, because she can't. I mean, the Colonel's never going to be able to find that new place.
Frank, what are your email status? You want us to know what's your email status as we go out?
Oh, here we go. Well, I mean, let's. All right, here we go.
236 608.
Oh,
236 608, folks.
Look at that.
Yes, we have 70 people watching. Please hit the like button. Hit that like button. Yes, scab writers are writing this week. So that's what's going on, folks. So let's see what they write. Whatever. Now, unfortunately, Frank and I will not be here next week. Unfortunately. I'm a special guest at a SoCal When Calls to Heart Hardy's event in San Juan Capistrano. I'm the guest. So I will be actually there doing that.
And what will your guest duties entail?
I have no idea. Just be James Lott Jr. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm going down in the morning. I'm gonna take a look around. I've been to San Juan Capistrano in years. The event's at 2:00 at this tea room that's over there, tea house over there. And they said I'm the guest, so I'm gonna talk about the show, I guess, and say hello and shake hands, kiss babies. I don't know, and then come back.
So it's not like a panel. It is more just
actually,
there.
It's a tea event. They have tea, and I'm a special guest. And we did one with me about 4 years ago.
Oh, nice. And just somebody. Is it the crowd asking you questions? Is it just a moderator?
The last one, there was a room full of One Cross Hard fans. Yeah, it was a room full. They asked me questions. I spilled some tea. Asked me what it's like to be behind the scenes. What it's like being a Hardy. At that time, I had books out about the Hardys, so we talked about that. So yeah, this one I'm curious what happens this time. I have no idea. So I'll show up and be me. I'll show up and see I'll be whatever they need.
Well, I mean, you being you is more than they deserve.
I agree with that too. I mean, that's a hello. Around. But I'm going to show up in my bells on and work that out. So that's next Sunday, unfortunately. So we'll be back the following Sunday, which will be the last Sunday in July.
Man,
we're already halfway out. We're almost out of this month already.
Time flies.
It does. Well, we're having fun together, not with the show. Thank everybody for coming in here and joining us. Anybody who's watching or listening later, we appreciate it. We're on all auto streaming services. We're on YouTube at JLJ Media. He's at Happy Go Jack.